It's the Sanderson Trail Report from here at just below Sanderson Peak. My tracks behind me there came down from the peak. Wind chill of about 3.2 Fahrenheit at the peak. It's about minus 16 centigrade, so I'll keep this pretty brief. Wednesday the 21st of February 2024, and a quick pan around here at 10,700 feet. So this storm that we had started yesterday, as you can see, still continuing. I'd sort of hoped to be able to do this video in the sun. I had some lovely sun from about 8,500 feet this morning all the way through to about 10,000, and then this little second wave has rolled in. It's very, very light micro rounded grains that's going to struggle to add up to anything, even if it keeps going for a couple of hours. Like I say, the storm, bit of a dud. Only about 2.5 to 3 inches new here. Everywhere I measured on the way up, Saddle Junction about 1.5 inches, Wellman Divide about 2 inches, and it came in warm, so it rained. It looks like it rained all the way up to here, certainly to well above 10,000 feet. Freezing rain all over the trees. So we could have had a lot more snow if it hadn't come in as rain. There was a hint of a dusting of snow at the Devil's Slide Trailhead, Humber Park, but realistically there was no meaningful snow until about 7,500 to 8,000 feet. So pretty disappointing in that regard. In fact, we've had a net loss of snow. Can tell from the melting that's been going on around the summit hut here. Most places that I measured have lost between about 6 to 8 inches over the last week because of melting. So the snow numbers that I'll put in the Sanderson Trail Report this evening, sanjackjohn.com, will actually be several inches lower than last week. And snow conditions, I actually bare booted all the way up. I've got spikes and snowshoes with me. Haven't needed either. Got a feeling I probably won't use either on the way down. Below 8,000 feet, snow conditions are pretty grim. The snow was warm. We had a couple of really warm days just before this came in, so the snow was pretty warm and soft anyway, and then it just got rained on. So Devil's Slide was actually probably the least pleasant part of the hike this morning. It progressively firmed up, a bit above 7,000, then a bit above 8,000. It wasn't really until 9,000 feet that it actually got reasonably firm. Still a little bit of post-holing, generally just a few inches, ankle depth, that kind of thing. Only a handful of spots where I went in kind of knee deep. But on balance, firm enough under the fresh snow that snowshoes wouldn't have been a great idea. It's actually in places quite firm underneath the new snow. So on those traversing slopes, on the Peak Trail and around Wellman Cienega, would not have been much fun trying to snowshoe with those. Spikes would be useful, definitely. Crampons could well be useful. The challenge is that the next 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 days, get really warm again, well above average, and very sunny, relatively sunny for the next 2 or 3 days. So snow's going to get really soft again. So in those conditions, snowshoes could be useful. There's no perfect formula. Different people are going to want to use different things. Judging by the tracks, I could see the snow sufficiently shallow that I could still see tracks from prior to the snow. They were not so obvious once you get above about 10,000 feet, but certainly lower down I was able to follow tracks that I'd put in and others had followed over the last couple of weeks. So the next storm comes in the Monday 26th into Tuesday 27th. Looks like another one like this one, relatively warm, mainly rain, and currently only calling for a few inches in the high country. Like I say, there'll be some significant melting in between. After that storm, it then warms up again, and then tentatively looking at another storm at the beginning of March, around the 2nd or 3rd of March. But again, as of now, not calling for more than a few inches of snow. And again, they'll be melting before that gets here. So current depth at the peak here are averaging around 50 inches, 4 feet, give or take a bit. So we've lost close to a foot since the highest point of the winter, which was a couple of weeks ago. And there'll be more information, as always, on the website, sanjacjon.com, sanjacjon.com. And safe hiking, everyone.